It's that time of year for ripe tomatoes, tomatillos, onions, garlic. So we're going to be making authentic homemade salsa. And then we're going to be doing a walking nacho, not a walking taco. They also grow here at the farm these organic tomatillos. I've never seen purple ones before, so they cleaned me up a little bag of those. So we'll be making a green salsa, a red salsa, and then I'm going to cook some pork for the walking nachos. We've got some 1,000-year-old heritage ground pork. I bought one of those pigs, really good stuff. So we got half our grill going. We got a nice red coal. So I want to get my tomatoes. This is basically how I do my gazpacho as well. I roast or I grill my tomatoes on the grill. I think that should be good. And we'll put some tomatillos down. Are these cool or what? I've never seen purple tomatillos. These are gonna make a nice green salsa. So what I found with the Spanish people, the cooks that I have had over the years, is they like their onion charred, but they still want it to be raw a little bit to give it some of that strong. So we're just going to char it, but we're going to cut it in thick slices so that onion doesn't get too cooked. These are tomatoes from my garden. I grew some low citrus, and we got some cherry tomatoes here, San Marzanos. You know, whatever tomatoes you have. You can make that pomodoro sauce that I showed you how to make, or you can make salsa and jar it. So we want to get these tomatoes now nice and charred, get good flavor on them. Onions are fresh from the farm. Garlic is fresh from the farm. Over here, I've got my container for the tomatoes, and for the green salsa, I also have a container with a bunch of cilantro in there as well. The garlic and the onion and the tomato are all going to come off the grill into these pots. To make the nachos, I chopped some white and red onion from the farm with some cilantro. I've got some chopped garlic here, so when I make the pork, seasoned pork meat. And then I've got some nice Chihuahua cheese here from the Mexican store that I've shredded. And I got some nice fresh from the farm crema. This is the Spanish version of sour cream. It's a little bit thinner and a lot creamier. So we have some of that too for our walking nachos. And then I brought some of my hot sauce just in case we need a little heat. Let's take a look and see how our tomatoes are doing. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for black skin, just like we would if we were making the chili rellenos. But the difference is we're going to be blending this skin right into our salsa. You can see these tomatillos are browning up nice as well. And we've got these jalapeños. You know, just because they're not right under that hardwood charcoal, they're still getting some color. Look at this garlic. The size of these cloves is just amazing. From the farm here, they're hard as rock too. It's just a great bulb of garlic. These garlic cloves, that's enough. Just like I said, we want to get some color on them. You only need 3 or 4 cloves. You know, you can put as much or as little in as you want. You know, you can tell when the tomatillos are done. You can see here, Zach, you get a close-up, you can see them bubbling there. That lets us know that they're starting to heat up inside. This is actually how I start my gazpacho as well. I char the tomatoes like this. That's how I make the base for my gazpacho soup. And I'll puree that with the onions and peppers, and then I'll add my herbs and seasonings to that, and then I'll chop up the garnishes for the gazpacho: cucumbers, more red and green pepper, red onion. Okay, that's our Remember what we said about the onion. We don't want it to fully cook. We just want to get some color on it. We still want raw onion in our salsa. So I'm going to put this on here because we want the tomatillos and that to kind of steam in there and get soft. You can see how these tomatoes are getting nice and soft now. Just like that. When I first saw this, I was like, you're kidding me. That char is great flavor. And we're going to put a little bit of this pepper in there. Now on the jalapeños, we want to take off the stem. We'll get a cover on that right away. Now we're going to be using some of this salsa to sauce the seasoned ground pork as well. So, you know, you can make salsa without green and red peppers, but, you know, any type of pepper. It's always a nice flavor. That char is just going to give us a nice, see how that's steaming in there? Those are cooking. We'll put a little bit of red in this one. A little bit of green in this one. Okay, while those tomatoes are steaming, we're gonna get that saute pan hot so we can start cooking this heritage pork, which is, Laura raises these and they're really fatty pigs. I bought one, it was 285 pounds. And I thought I was getting like a 120-pound pig. They rolled it out on a cart. 4 guys had to lift it up into my truck. I'm like, now where do I go? I had to call some people. Anyways, it's got a lot of great fat on it. So we're not gonna need to oil this pan at all because there's just so much good fat in here already. Kind of like a smash burger, we want to put the meat into a dry pan so we get a nice caramelization right away. All right, our water is beating. That's the sound you want to hear. And so for the pork, we're going to be adding some garlic, fresh chopped from the farm. And then we put some smoked paprika in there, a little cumin powder, salt and pepper, salt and white pepper actually mixed, a little oregano. So you see how the meat is sticking to the pan? That's okay, because that's going to caramelize and brown. And then when we add the salsa to it, it's going to dissolve all of that off the bottom of the pan. You guys can move in closer if you want. You're not going to be in the shot. Give us a little salt and white pepper. Now that we got it going, we can add our garlic. The reason why we don't add it at the beginning, we don't want to burn it in that hot pan. We just want the flavor. Plus we've already got caramelized garlic in our salsas. This salsa you can make 2 or 3 days ahead of time. This is from that 1,000-year heritage pig. Now everybody's like, well, what does that mean? It means that this was a European breed that's been around for 1,000+ years. And some of those animals made it over here to the US, and we started breeding them. So that's what Laura's working with right now, is she's working with the older breeds of pig and raising them naturally, pasture raised, without organic soy or organic corn. And so it's clean. Pigs aren't pent up in a pen making a mess of themselves. These are pigs that roam the grounds at their farm, foraging. Halfway there, so we can start adding the rest of our seasonings. A good pinch of cumin. I like it just to be a hint of it in there. And a little smoked red paprika. That'll give us another layer of chili. This grill is 900 degrees, so I got to pull this pan towards me, because being right over the edge of it, the dogs love me here. He's my biggest fan. That's looking good. I want to add a touch of my hot sauce. I got 15 different peppers in this. I make it, just a little bit of oregano. Check this for salt. Wow, that's good. That imported paprika adds a nice little mild heat. Doesn't blow the back of your head off. All right, our salsa has been sitting now. That's good. A little bit of olive oil. Nice. Instead of using canned taco sauce or packages, that's your taco sauce. So the reason why I'm popular is because I literally am farm to table. You know, this is farm raised, farm grown, farm picked, farm cleaned. This is what my food was all about at Medusa. You know, that's why it wasn't the $6 quart of soup like you get at some stores. You know, it cost a little bit extra for this quality of food. So we got the red salsa, which is delicious. All right, now we're gonna do the green one. The green one tends to be a little bit more tart because those tomatillos are tart. Throw a little olive oil in this one as well. Now this Mexicans, Spanish, don't normally put olive oil in. I like to because I like the viscosity it gives. Helps emulsify the sauce too. All right, a little salt. Okay, that's red, that's green. I don't know, I think we could start building some nachos, Zach. Instead of the cheddar cheese and the American cheese that we put on it, we'll do this Chihuahua, then we'll do the red salsa, and we'll do some with green salsa. And that's delicious served at the dinner table.